what's a great example? In college these days, for this kind of season, we had a thing taught targeting. You guys know what targeting is? So that meant if somebody was in a vulnerable position, catching a football, so coach is catching a football, if I would hit him with my helmet, which that's always been illegal, you know what I'm saying? Film this, you talking to your kids about safe hitting. That's my point. Tom's doing that right now. Film yourself talking to your kids about it. Get an iPad. Use your phone. It could be the worst film in the world. But talk about safe hitting. And this is one of the first things. So we talk to our guys about targeting. If a guy's in a vulnerable position, one, I can't hit him with my head. Well, that's been illegal for a while, hasn't it? But bringing a forearm to his head, bringing a shoulder to his head, any of those things are illegal. Film yourself doing that. Because if that should ever happen in a game and players, people perceive that you've been teaching it wrong, you can get sued. That's reality. I'm not trying to scare you out of coaching. This is what makes you feel comfortable about coaching, is that you get it on film. Does that make sense? Standing in front of your kids, teaching a concept like that. What's another concept? Now, I will tell you about the targeting thing. We were nervous about that as college coaches around the country. You know how many targeting calls I saw in our games in 15 games? I'm talking about our opponent and us last year. 0. Coaches did a great job of coaching. The kids did what was coached. You follow what I'm saying? They were taught, no, you can't hit to the head when a guy's in a position. You follow me? They'll do what you teach them. And that's our responsibility, isn't it? Keep them safe. Not just our kids, but the kid on that other team. Does that make sense? And take pride in that. And I'm pleased with that. I think our conference and the people who played the playoffs did an amazing job. I think I saw one targeting on film in a game, in the film that I watched. Now, what are the other things you want to get filmed? Safe and bad hitting, whether it be blocking or tackling. Bend over at your hips, coach. So I would have a guy come up and bend over at his hips and say, this is the improper position to hit, run a ball, tackle, block, anything we do on the football field, this is the improper position. Straight-legged, bent over at the back, head is down. Any energy that gets hit on this head, that energy will go through the back of the spine, and it'll find the weakest point, and it'll break something. Does that mean paralysis? No, but you're raising the likelihood of it. Does that make sense? And explain that to your kids. This is the wrong position. Warn your kids. Give them their first warning. Say, if you ever hit in that position in any of our drills or in any of a game, I'm not going to scream and yell and jump and down and call you bad names, but I am going to say, Anthony, I'm going to take you out of my drill now. Anthony, you need to just go over here, take a knee, sit and watch the drill for a little bit, think about how dangerous that position is and how that was the wrong position to be in. I didn't chew him out, didn't embarrass him in front of his teammates. That's not our job. We don't need to embarrass him. But then Anthony needs to go think about it. I will tell you that will hit home. Because Anthony wants to play. I want to go back in there. You know what I'm saying? Then after 2 minutes, come on, Anthony, let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? But teach them. So teach them the ramifications of how you're managing the practice in a game. Does that make sense? For their own safety. Show that on film. The next thing I would film myself doing, again, this is all the same conversation. This is, to me, the first practice. This is what you talk about in the first practice. The next thing is, what is the proper position? Get in a great power position, a great athletic position, coach. So whatever that would be, you know, bent knee, power position. So coach gets in that power position, bent knee. This is the way we play the game. This is the way we play football. We play with our head up. We're safe. If we do get hit here, well, the less likelihood of that energy going down the spine. We're still not trying to use our helmet as a target or as a weapon. We're in a great position to be athletic. Our eyes are up so we can make that tackle or make that ball, that linebacker miss me on it if I'm carrying the ball. Or make a block. Does that make sense? This is the position. Nice bend in the knees, feet at good base. It's the basketball position. It's the playing shortstop position. It's the wrestling position. You know what I'm saying? You can stand up, coach. This is the position that we hit in. This is the way we play contact. then shut off the camera. You know what I'm saying? Have one of your coaches film you doing it. You always have that. Does that make sense? Again, it's for your safety, but it's also you have that. You follow me? I don't think it's bad to do that when parents hear you saying it either. You follow me? It reaffirms to them that we are doing things right here. It is, your child's safety is vital to us and very important to us. And I've been on a football field where a young man, well, he died on the field, but they were able to get a breathing tube in him and he was able to live. You know what I'm saying? And you don't ever want that feeling. You follow me, fellas? I mean, I thought that might have been the end of my coaching, to be honest with you, standing on that sideline going, boy, this doesn't feel good to me. You know what I'm saying? But the good part is, we're going to teach it right. You know what I mean? And the thing that you're responsible for is, yeah, if a kid does take a heck of a hit on the head, and he does appear to have a headache, he's done. Let's be smarter with that today. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of us in this room, we were back in the day when I'm sure we all had some concuss going on, and we kept on pushing through it, and I'm not any worse for the wear. Well, who knows if we're worse for the wear? But we're past that day. We're much smarter. Does that make sense? And being safe on those things is vital to the future of the game, and obviously just being good human beings, taking care of people. Does that make sense? So make sure you film that, put yourself in a position to do that, and take your seat, Anthony. I appreciate it with thanks. Good. The next thing I want to do is now let's start talking about that tackle progression and really how you want to teach that concept. So a couple coaches that have been here a couple times, if you can just raise your hand. Coach, why don't you two come up? I'll use you. I already use you once. I want to overuse you. I'll get you back up here, though. I promise you that. And the reason I kind of wanted to do with you guys is just so you kind of get a feel for what it's like. You know what I'm saying? So the first part of the progression is what we call the one-knee tackle. The one-knee tackle. So in the one-knee tackle, the two guys are going to face each other. So you have two guys going against each other. I'm going to say both men go down on your right knee. So they're going to go down on their right knee.
Your other knee, Jimmer. There we go.
There we go.
Your other right.
Now slide it in nice and tight. You're going to be the tackler. So this side, I'm going to tell him, keep your back perfectly straight. Put your arms out. There we go. Good. Tackler on this side. Come in a little bit tighter to him, nice and tight. And this is where kids are going to struggle. Oh, I don't want to be that close to him. No, you're going to get in there nice. Your nose is going to be pretty close to his armpit. Does that make sense? Now, we're making a right shoulder tackle. So we're on the right knee, right shoulder tackle. This is what we're working. Now we're going to cock your arms back at 90 degrees. Now, on my voice command, we'll go in slow motion. I'm going to say, ready, hit. Bam. When he hits, he's going to shoot his hands through those armpits, and he's going to shoot them all the way up to the sky. We call it a double uppercut punch. You're shooting your hands to the sky. Shoot them to the sky. And he's going to dig his fingertips in. Then when I say ready, he's going to cock his arms back. Hit. Ready. Hit. Hard as you can. Ready. Hit. Ready. Hit. Ready. Hit. Good. Beautiful. See how he got his hands up? Shoot his fingertips up? Brought it as hard as you wanted to, didn't you? Yeah. Didn't hurt, did it? No. Here, why don't you guys stand up for a second? I know it doesn't feel good to be on your knees in concrete. Yeah, my knees crack when I get up. So that's why I got arthritis in both of them, so they make a lot of noises. So with that drill, why do we shoot the hands up? This is the key concept. Your hips are this area, I shouldn't say your hips. This area is the most powerful muscle grouping that you have in your body. What does that mean? Your glutes, your quads, your hammers, your lower back, your abs, your core. This is the most powerful thing. Many of you probably heard me use this analogy. You hear about people being able to, hey, there's a car laying on a person, there's a car accident, we got to lift it up. Guys get in there and they got the adrenaline going, but the reason they're able to do it is they're able to get their hips underneath it. So when you shoot your hands, look what happened to my hips when I just shot my hands up in the air. My hips came through. And so that's the point. If we can teach kids, Coach Supanowski did it in his drill, striking with the linebackers, didn't he? He talked about getting those hips to come through. Why? It's the most powerful muscle grouping you got. Don't tell kids to concentrate on their hips. concentrate on their hands. You know what I'm saying? Right now, if I told myself, jump as high as I can, without using my hands, you know what I mean? It's good, but if I use my hands, boom, I'm much higher, I'm much stronger. The hands force the hips to pull through. Does that make sense? Now, when they do the drill, I didn't want him to bring his hips. He did a great job of not bringing his hips. He did a great job of not bringing his hips. It's just the hands. Why do we break it down in segments like that? Makes it easy for you, not a coach. Because I'm just worried about hands. Why? Because I just want him to think about his hands. That's his one goal. He's just got to think about hands now. And that's the first step in the tackling progression. Here, gentlemen, you can take a seat. So, how do we line up that drill? This is a beautiful drill. Anytime you can do a drill with no lines, do it. Anything you've heard today that you can do with no lines, do it. You know, you guys, there's some educators in this room. What happens to people that are standing in lines? They play switch finger. They horse around. They're a distraction to the others. You know what I'm saying? Plus, the other thing is, have you ever heard this saying? You ever heard this? And this is repetition is the mother of learning. There's a ton of truth to that. Get everybody doing it. So when you do this drill, you have a line on a football field, you got partners, 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 partners. Every player is partnered up. Every player is doing the drill. This side over here, everybody on the right knee. Side closest to the coach, knee. You're going. You're shooting the hands. You are the tackler. Ready, hit, ready, hit, ready, hit. Every player is doing it. You follow me? There's no lines. You don't need lines for this. Does that make sense? Any drill you can do to eliminate lines, do it. Be imaginative. However you can do it to get every kid doing it. Sometimes you can't. Some of them aren't built, like the quarterback one Kevin just drew up. 2 quarterbacks are going to get reps. You know what I'm saying? That's just, I don't think there's no way you can figure that one out. You know what I'm saying? On the circle one. You know, but this is a drill. Everybody's getting their reps. The first time you do this drill, it's probably going to take you about, 8 to 10 minutes to teach them how to do it, in the sense of getting them close to each other, getting them shooting the hands, getting them confident with shooting their hands, getting them confident with explosiveness. That's what's going to get them confident as hitters. You follow me? What we were just talking about, we're starting to change Darwinism now. A lot of kids don't understand what it means. Bring it as hard as you can. Come on, bring it. Harder, harder, harder. Suddenly that kid that's like, first time he did it, oh, it's here. Now suddenly it's like, he wants me to go harder. Wait a second, I can do it harder. You know what I mean? Now you're getting them, you're starting to crack Darwinism. You follow me? They're starting to understand, boy, if I do something really, really hard, I'm a lot more explosive than I thought I was. And that's what's going to get them to be confident in contact. Does that make sense? The start of it. That's the start of it, in the sense of that. So that's our one knee tackle. Any questions on the one knee tackle? Awesome. Anybody that doesn't have a bad back in here? All right. And Anthony, why'd you come up? I'm saving this one for you. I thought you were the youngest guy in the room, so I thought, all right, you might be the one guy that doesn't have a bad back. All right. So now Anthony and I'll actually demonstrate this one. I'm just going to have him be what we call our catcher. The next one is now what I call hands and hips. Now we're bringing 2 elements to it. This is the next step in the progression. This is the next step in getting them explosiveness, understanding explosive. This is a lot like Coach Supanowski's drill. Coach Sup had the guy down on his knees, had the other guy as the catcher, didn't he? He had the other guy as the catcher. Remember how he was doing that drill here? Bam, shooting the hands through the hips, his hips hit, and then the partner bounced him back. Remember that drill? Now, this one, we're going to make it a tackling drill without taking him to the ground. Now, this one takes more teaching than what Coach Sopanowski did. Why? Because I'm going to tell Coach Parr to bring his face down to my face. So he's bringing his chest right down to me. You see that? That's typical now. Ball carrier's there, I'm here, my chest is right below his chest. Now what I'm going to do, and we're going to get a little bit closer, just a little bit closer. Yeah. So, I mean, in fact, I'll tell guys, their face mask, his face mask is right here, is actually touching my helmet. Does that make sense? Now, when the coach says hit, I'm gonna make a right shoulder tackle, so I'm staggered a little bit in this direction. I'm gonna shoot my hands, bam, up through his back, and I'm gonna grab jersey. So I did it slow, but I wanted to go, bam, I'll do a little bit faster. Ready? Hit, bam, bam, pop back. You can see, and just keep on shooting him, but he's grabbing cloth with the hands on the back, like a tackle. Does that make sense? And you keep on doing the shooting of the hands. Now, this is where the hips come through. Faster with the hands. Don't talk to them about their hips. Talk to them about their hands. Bang! Boom! Now look how he let my pelvis hit the ground. Does that make sense? A lot of kids, when they do this drill, are going to do this. Bam! I guarantee you, you're going to see 80% of your kids are going to do this. You follow me? No power. There's no power. So that's again where you yell, harder with your hands. Blow your hands through. Coach is doing a great job of giving ground. You see how he backpedaled every time? You're going to spend more time coaching him the first time you do this drill. And Coach Bosch shaking his head yes, because he's done this drill. You spend more time coaching that guy the first time you do it. Because they'll do it wrong too, where Anthony doesn't move his feet. Bam, I shoot and like, oh, well, wait, no, I can't get that full extension. I can't get that feel of fully exploding. Fully exploding, thank you, Coach. And that to me is, again, that next step of getting them to feel like, hey, explode my mind. And like I said, the first time they'll do it, they won't bring those hips through. Those hips will be bent. Next thing, harder. Hit your hips to the ground. That's about the only thing I'll say. Keep on shooting the hands harder. Shoot them harder. Shoot them harder. Shoot the hands harder. And that'll get the hips to come through on the tackle. Again, I'm going to go back. What is our setup? Our setup is that. Right there. That's our setup. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. I'm going to add on a piece to this. When I say everybody's doing it, in my ideal world, if you got two coaches on your staff, and I'm going to grab this right here, you have the command coach, and then you have the coach. Ideally, you'd love to have two coaches at that drill, especially when you first start doing it. So what's the command coach doing? Ready, hit, ready, hit, ready, hit, ready, hit. And you might be going, well, what's the big deal on that? I said the repetition is the mother of learning, isn't it? Let's say I'm there by myself. Ready, hit. Hey, Anthony, next time shoot your hands harder. Hey, ready, hit. Billy, come on now, let's go. Quit picking your nose and let's get going. Ready, hit. Billy, Johnny, what did I just do? I slowed down the reps, didn't I? I slowed down the reps. I got only so much time to get that drill done. And I'm getting, at best, 1/3 the reps. So the command coach is ready, hit, ready, hit, ready, hit, ready, hit. They learn by doing. Get them doing. The coach is walking around going, Anthony, come on now. Let's shoot those hands harder. Hey, Johnny, da-da-da. He can stop Anthony, but everybody else is working. Does that make sense? That's how you get reps. That's how you keep them busy. That's how you get them better. It's by doing, not by listening to us talk and give dissertations on the field. Get them busy. And plus, you'll do this. You'll actually shorten the length of what you need for practice. That's good. You don't need to beat them for 2 hours. If you can get organized with your drills, on any of the drills we've just talked about, and get the repetitions you need, be done. Get done with practice early. The human mind can only take so long. You know what I'm saying? At what point do you start hitting diminishing returns in your practice? Start noticing that. Very seriously. You have your kids there, look at your watch and say, all right, we're starting right now, and then suddenly at some point in the practice you're going to say, we're losing them. Look at your watch. Wow. You know what I mean? How much